Welcome to the Mix and Pick Pals. I am Dr. A, your host, and I am your crystal rock goddess. Welcome to the Mix and Pick Pals. I am Dr. A, your host, and I am your crystal rock goddess. The rock goddess, and we're in the place to be. Make sure you come on inside the Crystal Palace, take your shoes off, leave them by the door, stop at the crystal bar, grab your crystals and grab your libations, because over here we honor our ancestors. 5 ways to become a crystal. All you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. 2, all you have to do is type, and we call that what? The boom boom room. The 3rd way to become a crystal, all you have to do is listen, and we call the parlor room. The 4th way to become a crystal, all you have to do is after the show, don't leave your play around me, true player for real, ask me, you know what I mean. All you got to do is outhouse gang up in this thing, and that's what we call our after show, okay? Now, 5th way to become a crystal, all you have to do is to make sure you join our membership. Oh, damn. I ain't even in the damn studio. I'm just running my mouth. How you doing, Grand Rising? Greetings. Welcome to the Mickey Flicky Palace. Of course, this is Dr. A, and I'm in the place to be. I am here. How you doing, Kat? Welcome to the Mickey Flicky Palace. Man, we're going to go ahead and get started because, man, I don't know what Jasmine talking about. We still trying to comb through this video. I'm trying to finish it because a lot of times I do find myself kind of rushing through a little bit for a good reason, because it's Jasmine, for crying out loud, right? And so when we have Jasmine here in the house, it can be annoying, right, y'all? It can be seriously annoying to hear her babble. You know, she needs to learn how to do one and dones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she don't know how to do one and dones, but it's the most weirdest thing I've ever heard. Okay, I'm just trying to have a conversation with y'all. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get Jasmine pulled up, but it's a video I just found and I'm gonna watch later on. It's a mafia documentary. So I had to click on it and just kind of put it up, so when I'm already ready to watch it, I'll be able to watch it. Okay, so let's go to Jasmine. I already got her pulled up, but I'm just gonna see. I don't know if she did a live earlier today or not. I was in BB's live. I was on and out, in and out, because I had to deal with a client today. I had another client call me now, where hopefully, things is turning around for us. So, and of course, thank God she didn't post anything other than this little 3 thing. And of course, she's gonna talk about bring my kids to my night shift unedited. Oh my God. That is horrible. Okay. So if we finish this one tonight, then we will, if we have time enough, then I will go ahead and get into this other one. Let me go ahead and put this Yeti up here so we can watch. I said Yeti. I'm so stupid. I crack myself up. You know what I'm saying? I laugh at my own goddamn jokes. And then don't say that's pathetic. How pathetic are you to laugh at your own jokes? Your mama. You know what I'm saying? Your mama. So don't say nothing about me laughing at my own jokes. For they funny shit. I'm funny. Goddamn it. Anyway, we threw this check up in here. Now give me a second here. We're gonna go ahead and put this hook on blast. Now, I know y'all want me to cover Agatha Christie. Hold on one second. No, excuse me, not Agatha Christie. Hold on. Give me a second. shakes of a land tail, I'm back. Okay. I know y'all want me to cover Agatha Christie, but I just can't. My spirit, my spirit animal just won't let me do it. I'm sorry. My spirit animal just won't let me do it. I can't. I'm just not patient today to be looking at. I had to, I told you it takes an energy. I don't feel like lighting my sage. Or anyway, my lighter is at home, at my business. I didn't care. I don't keep only lighter. Yeah, I got 1,000 lighters, but they don't always work. I'm telling you. So I need one of those long sticks. I really need to get some long sticks. I'm gonna work on getting that tomorrow, so I can just keep one here and then keep one at the forward. Because I'm telling you, I don't keep up with lighters that well. Okay. So let's go ahead. Did I share this out? I think I did. Hold on. Let me share this out, y'all. Hopefully, y'all come live with me. Give me just a shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm going to share this live. But on a heavier, lighter note, um, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with this Diddy thing because they're also interviewing folks like Suge Knight, and Suge Knight, of course, is coming out he been talking, right? So it's a lot of stuff been going on. Him and that Reggie. I don't know if y'all watch Reggie channel, but man, them brothers is heating it up, and I've been really, really, really watching that. I'm telling you, it's been going down in the if y'all go to First Bombs. And that's Reggie Wright. Of course, he was the security guard. His security team was over death row at that time, right? So go and check that out. I've been on First Bomb. I used to go to the website all the time, right? Back in the day, because I'm a staunch Tupac spirit conspiracy theorist. And I do watch a lot of Tupac. So if y'all interested in something like that, but anyway, check it out. He was on Suge Knight was on of what's his name, Pearson, whatever his name was. He was on Pearson, and I'm telling you, Suge Knight was unloading, and so he was trying to tie it together. Sometimes Suge Knight to me comes off like he be lying sometimes, and sometimes I think he telling the truth, right? I do believe the whole theory was Suge. I mean, I'm not Suge. It's just y'all have to go check it out. I'm not even gonna have the conversation because we're in the mommy sector. But for those that are interested, for the Tupac enthusiast, you probably go check that out. Go to Reginald's, go to that channel that Reggie be on. Also, just and there's other channels that do cover it from a different perspective. And I also watch the people that don't like Reggie. I've watched the other people. Choke no joke. I don't know. Choke no joke be kind of lying sometimes too, in my humble opinion. I don't necessarily always trust what he said because of the fact of who he is just he just sounds like a liar. But yeah, definitely go check that out. I think that would be interesting. And once you type in once you type in bomb first here on the YouTube streets, you will also more information will pop up. More so definitely go look at that. Check out that Pierce interview with Suge. I think you'd be interested in that. And it's just a lot of things that go on. I'm in different sectors. I'm not just in the mommy sector, but I'm also in the Tupac sector. You might as well call it the Tupac sector. I'm also in the hip hop sector, and I'm also like watching the trials. I do watch the trials, and I'm telling you that Diddy situation is heating up. It's gonna get even worse. And what the FBI, in my humble opinion, and knowing and dealing with the FBI, not dealing with like working with them, but when they were when I was in the movement. You get what I'm saying? We're adversaries. Of course, we're going to be adversaries. You know what I'm saying? Fully eradicate my foes. No, I'm just saying. Anyway, so as adversaries, and just reading and studying and then having to deal with certain agents because they will stick informants into an organization. You get what I'm saying? So that kind of thing. And when you understand COINTELPRO, like this stuff right here, what we have to deal with here on YouTube, and I know everybody just be like, oh, the YouTube. I mean, I see all this before. I've done all of this. I've been there, done that, and it's like nothing new is under the sun. You are gonna have certain adversaries. Like when they see you popping out, you going, and they see you coming, and they see your stuff is popping, then they go of course start messing with you, and that's common. And so it's just inevitable. It comes with the territory, and the government works the same way. They have not upgraded. The only thing that has been upgraded is the equipment, but the tactics are pretty much the same. So I don't understand why PD didn't see them coming, but that's just my personal opinion. So I think that he definitely, he's so smart, he dumb. You know what I mean? So he didn't really. I don't understand why he did not know that they was coming after him. And yes, he got word probably about a year or more. But when he was doing all this stuff, he should have been covered this stuff. I mean, just whatever. But clearly, I don't know why he didn't see it, because I saw it and I'm on the outside. I'm not in PDD camp. I don't know. I don't have nothing to do with those type of celebrities. But I'm telling you, you could just see it from a mile away. I mean, it's going to be other black celebrities that they come against as well. So, I mean, like the likes of Lil Boosie. It's a lot of other people that they're gonna come after or whatever. They've already taken down R. Kelly. They've already tried to take down Bill Cosby, but they drained him out of his resources. So we see that on regular. So we're gonna see more to come. It's gonna be more black entrepreneurs or black entertainers that's going to be taken down as well. So just stand back. And it's not just going to be males, it's going to be females as well. So we're definitely watching. What I'm saying? All of us are pretty much watching, and it's not the only one, because remember, they took down Harvey Weinstein, and there's other people behind them. The one of the key persons, in my opinion, that they should have taken down, but they already knew. The powers that be already know that this dude was dirty, was the what's his name, the bunny dude. He should have been taken down a long time ago, but his money was strong and he was paying people off. But this is all my opinion, okay? But he should have been taken down. uh but hold on tight, because it's gonna be some more to come. So I'm just saying, y'all, just stand by. Trust me when I say. I mean, but you don't have to be clairvoyant or anything like that to see all this coming. It's just, again, you understand. When you understand the powers that be, you understand their tactics, and they're gonna keep doing the same thing. And so what they're doing is they're building a case while we're talking, as P. Diddy case has already been built. They just putting it out there, right? But it's going to be more that they're cases that they're building now, and they're going to strike probably simultaneously. And what they're going to do is they're going to force certain people to sign over, because what they're doing is they're replacing power. It's when I keep telling y'all about the new world order and things like that, the whole new world order is in effect. So they're taking down certain celebrities, and they're taking down certain rich people, even on down to that 1 billion millionaire. I think he was a millionaire. I shouldn't talk like this on here. I probably should shut up. But I'm gonna say this thing, and I'm gonna go on to the mommies. Okay, I'm just gonna throw a little something in there. But the one guy that he was a head of a pharmaceutical or healthcare company, the pharmaceutical healthcare industrial complex. You have to be careful of that, because they took him, certain powers that be took him down. So that was for certainly a reason. So just do keep in mind, just watch it. Anyway, let's move on. And also, and a reason why I'm not necessarily I'm making a living out of being a healer, but a lot of times what they do as well, if you go back now, I haven't seen that as much, but they do take down holistic healers, seriously. And if you go back and Google and do like some research, you will find that it's not just, I'm not just talking about Dr. Sabi, and well, that's a whole nother conversation, but I do believe in that as well. But it's been other ones across country, and I'm not talking about one or two, I'm talking about a few. So I would choose a profession like I did. Who knows, this story of my life. So y'all, let's go ahead and get to moving, because for they come get me on this land, for some of y'all, because some of y'all ain't ready for this conversation. So I'm gonna go back to this little stuff with these hookers, okay? Since y'all want to talk about these little hookers, okay? So let's go. Again, I'm also in the conspiracy theory committee in the the deep dives. What they call them, they call them this new. I don't like the way y'all talk now. This new school way of talking. They call them deep dives. That's bullshit. I'm not no damn deep dives. No, it's a conspiracy theorist. Y'all get all these fancy, dancy, collages names and shit. That's some bullshit. Okay. But it's a lot of things going on, and you just have to pay attention. And you can't just watch America and what's going on in America. You have to look all around the world. And some people have worn out their welcome. Okay. And what they're doing is, again, New World Order is in effect. So, immigrate. Some people, if your papers ain't right, even some people, even though your papers might be right, they still might try to come for you. I'm just letting you know. Let's go.
That. But the ladies that I met in there were nice.
Okay, so we know you're gonna watch this.
Okay, so of course, I hate when people eat noodles like that.
Dev features.
Oh, hold on. Let me hit skip, and I'm gonna let her talk.
And so we talked, like, moved you to the cells. But the cells, they weren't like phones. They were like speaker phones. So everybody in the cell can hear your whole fucking conversation. And I ended up getting off the phone because I don't know how the fuck they were able to sleep in there because I couldn't. My sciatic nerve pain was so bad because you're just on concrete. There was no like.
I don't know why this is funny. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what her obsession is with being in jail. I don't know, maybe because her baby daddy was in jail, or maybe because she was dating a prisoner. I mean, I could tell y'all some stuff because I used to be a part of I created an organization that helped political prisoners. And at one point in time, my belief system was a bit differently than it is now. Okay. And we would believe in one of, I'm not gonna go. You know what? This ain't even the place for that. Let me shut the fuck up. But anyway, so when you're talking to certain people inside behind what they will coin behind enemy line. And of course, this was a long time ago because like the way that they're doing now, like you can have conversations with basically like FaceTime now, damn near. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that now at this point in time. I mean, they were doing that back in the day. And I've talked to, I used to write Matula Shakur. Yeah, in case you all don't know that, that's Tupac's stepfather. God, I wish I could find that letter. I've moved. I think I still have it. I just have to find it. I have to find it. And I think I took a picture of it in an old phone. See, that was back when doing the flip phones, y'all. So it was a long time ago. And I'm telling you, I can tell y'all some stuff. Okay, let me get off of that. What was the point? I totally forgot the point I was trying to make in reference to Jasmine. Okay, let me think about what the point I was trying to make. She's the point I'm trying to make. I thought about it. The point I'm trying to make is that this hooker gets so excited about telling you a story because she does, what it is that she really doesn't have any life. She doesn't have a life at all, like not even a life. And there's nothing wrong with, as women, as mothers. Some of us are mothers, some of us are fur baby moms and things like that. I don't not acknowledge that. I give credit to that, okay? Because I know sometimes I've had people come up my channel and say, "Oh, how can you give fur baby mamas credit?" I'm like, well, I mean, because I deem people, I respect people's energy. You know what I'm saying? I respect people's energy. I'm not that type of person. I'm not nasty and vile like that. And I can be nasty and vile, but I'm not being nasty and vile when it comes to y'all over here, okay? So, crying out loud, give me a second. I'm trying to find my sea moss. I gotta take me some sea moss, y'all. Because I have not been on it. I haven't been taking it the way that I religiously. Okay. Anywho, I need to make this a powder. It's a tea. And y'all, the sea moss tea is not, it's just not good. But the sea moss powder, I'm used to it. So whatever it tastes like, it just is what it is. But the tea is not what I'm used to because I don't take it often. Okay? Jeez. Baby. But some of my clients like the tea. I like tea, but I don't like the sea moss tea in particular, but it is good for you. Okay. Anywho, so Jasmine gets so giddy, and it just stems from her not really having a life, right? As most of us that are fur baby moms or moms of adult children, I mean not adult children, of human children, um, we we evolve around our children. We have, and don't get it twisted. She does certain things that are motherly, like she takes her children back and forth to sports, and she take them to school, whether they on time or not. She still take them to school. Sometimes, you know what I mean. So, but she doesn't have the same type of flight as most moms, right? As most moms, they're active in their children's life. They're in reference to their homework. They're in on the PTAs. They're really involved in their children's education. They are really nicer, and they're nurturing, and just gangs of things that we do as moms. Y'all know what I mean. I don't have to go there. But y'all know what I mean when I say, she just has a different life than most moms, right? And then so it's just weird how she like moves, right? And so she gets excited about going to fucking jail. Who the fuck does that? Do you know that just I'm telling you, man, it's just not cool being in fucking jail. Not even for an hour. Not for an hour, not for a day, not for 2 days, not for 30 minutes. That shit is not okay. That is not something I want to do. Because any time away from my children, or any time away from me accomplishing my goals and things that I need to do, I can't do that behind enemy lines. I can't do that behind the pit prison industrial complex. I'm not gonna help these folks get more money, because they get money for every number that go in there, because you're not even considered a person, you consider a damn number. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
Betting to give you a blanket. That's it. And so that was that.
Oh my god, this is horrible. Oh.
But the ladies that I met in there were nice. Like I didn't have no problems with nobody, like the women. And so we talked. Like they were nice. They were sweet. You can tell who's been in there multiple times.
Jasmine, so you think you're gonna be like, subscribe to my channel? You're gonna have the prison babes subscribe to your channel? Like, why is this? This is like, okay, okay. Do y'all recall? Okay, so if we go back to Philip, which I don't feel like it, but I'll just remind y'all. Okay, I don't feel like doing a clip. I know that I, as a person who is talking on here and giving y'all a show or whatever the fuck I'm doing on here, I'm supposed to show y'all proof of this or proof of that. You can go over to they have it on shorts, especially like Teller XO has a short. I played it before on here, where Philip was basically saying, well, I tell y'all about prison stories and shit. I don't feel like pulling that clip up. I'm just not in the mood for all that shit today. Just take my word. If you don't take my word, just go to one of these areas and you'll find it. So anyway, I was just like, why is she acting so giddy? It was just weird. And I kind of looked at her, and I took a little bit of a gander about this. Now, I didn't on my own, I didn't watch her whole video. I just couldn't do it, y'all. And so I had to be I made y'all watch it with me, okay? I couldn't watch this shit by myself, but I did watch, not the whole thing. Now, I did watch probably like 5 minutes of it by myself. And this hooker sat on this platform, and she sound like Philip. Philip was excited to tell you about those prison stories. I'm like, why are you excited? You wasn't around no women. You was around all dudes. Like, who is excited about being around a whole bunch of men unless he you know what I'm saying? Let's see sugar. Let's see, got a little sugar. I'm old school, y'all. We call it sugar in the tank. I know there's some there's some certain words that people use, and I'm being respectful as best as possible, but y'all know what I'm saying, okay? So only a man that want to be with other men. I'm just gonna say it out, okay? And the only women that want to be with other women, because when I went to jail, I was not excited. I was pissed off, actually. to be honest with you. And I told you I was more excited. I was excited about my lawyer. I love my lawyer. I mean, I was just liking my lawyer. I like the fact that my lawyer, because I did other business with my lawyer. I had a great connection with my lawyer. My lawyer came and taught a law class for free to some children for me, and he also did like for adults to like know your rights. He also did that. Um, and I also work with other organizations. So you understand what I'm saying? So on those terms, he was a good person, and he really cared about people. And so it's rare to meet people who are in the judicial system to that really care. There are people out there like that, of course, but it's rare, right? But when you get to meet people that really care about the judicial system and that really want to change what's the imperfections in the judicial system, you definitely want to keep people like that in your pocket or around you or connected to you, right? So I get excited about that. I get excited about certain aspects of the way law works and things like that, on certain parts of the law, not the ones that's just us, that's against the black melanated people. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and try to act like there is not a discrepancy against black folks or rich people. We're not going to act like there is not the have-nots of the world. We're not going to play these games. But as Jasmine being a poor woman from Texas, okay, a black woman, poor woman from Texas, who have, and I hate to, I'm not trying to, I'm being stereotypical right now, and I hate to cop someone's pockets, but she's always begging for money since she broke. So I'm not lying, okay? It's just her words, right? A black woman from Texas, who has 5 children, all under, uh, all under teenage years. She has one possible teenager, and probably did. Well, I think Kayla's turning 13. What, next year? Right, next year, I think. But everybody's under what, 13? Okay, let's say that. Let's go with that. Everybody's under 13 in the house, and she's a single female. You know what I'm saying? Who parents are divorcee, and this is not knocking people who are divorcees, but her parents are. I mean, she's a stereotype. She's a part of a blended family or a nuclear family. You know what I mean? 2 baby daddies. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. Never been married for. Very much a stereotype. So for her to be standing up here on this platform excited about fucking jail makes no fucking sense to me. Makes no fucking sense to me. And then talking about some damn YouTube. What people give a fuck for about some damn YouTube and they broke as fuck in there? Or they in jail? Who the fuck cares about that shit? You know what I'm saying? How you doing, Paulette? I was just watching a throwbacks of Jasmine being drunk on live right now. Her knees doing a whole Livia with the hips, just being disgusting. Yes, ma'am. That's what she's teaching her kids. It's okay to beg right strangers on the internet. Exactly. I definitely agree with that, Paulette. How you doing today? Please let me know. Is everything okay? Are you out the hospital? I'm not trying to get in your business, but it's just concern. Hey. Hopefully you are, and hopefully you're doing better. Hopefully you're healing. Okay. I send out healing prayers and energy out to you vastly. What they and most people say Godspeed, So Godspeed, vastly, fast, quickly. Yeah, so she's thriving off of that. And look how giddy she looks. She looks so giddy about certain things that I don't think she should be giddy about. And I don't know, maybe it comes from naivety, or maybe it comes from just being plain stupid, or maybe it comes from being embarrassed. I mean, I've laughed at times when I kind of was a little bit embarrassed, and I tried to fake it off, and I was embarrassed. So that could be a coping mechanism, right? Sometimes when I tell a story and it's not really it's a sad story, I might tell you some laughter in it to make you laugh. By nature, right? Not because I'm forcing a laugh, but just by nature. I had to look at it in a sarcastic way, because I can be a little snarky or sarcastic, right? But this is not what it is. This hooker is excited about prison, okay, and jail. Okay, I'm good. Yes, I'm at home, and I thank you. Okay, yeah, and you're welcome. Okay, so thought that was a little strange and
Who
change.
hasn't? Some of us followed each other on social media. You know, I told them why I was in there and who I was in there for. They was like, what the fuck? And yeah, but we all talked about our little stories and shit.
Again, so you go in there, and yeah, when you when I've done, let's see, how long was I there? Like a week or two, something like that. Um, driver's license, y'all. It was just some driver's license stuff, being, and then like I didn't what I can't remember if I didn't pay my restitution or if I didn't do the community service. I think I did pay for the restitution. I think I paid for the restitution, but I didn't do the community. It was one of them, y'all. Don't quote me. I can't recall because that was so long ago. I can't remember if it was me not paying for my restitution. And this is all over a driver's license, but it actually is something deeper than that. But they just gave me driver's license. I had got into a situation with the police officer just to, without going into great detail. And they was like either blah blah blah, and I had to do some settle out of court type of deal. And basically it was either you do this or that. You still gotta, we gonna do this, but you gotta do this. So that my lawyer had kind of talked that down because it was heavy. It would have been way worse, right? But I don't have a record, so thank God, because it was not my fault. But I was driving while I was driving while my driver's license was suspended, so that they had to get me on it. That's just, it was nowhere around that. It was nowhere around that. Okay, and that was with the bum lawyer I told you that I had, y'all. Not the good lawyer that I had, but that was with the bum lawyer. And then when I got arrested for that, that because I was kind of on that. I had a as a person in the movement, I kind of was like, F the law. I'm not either paying for the restitution. I'm not doing one of them. Bump that. I kind of was hard headed. Let's just tell you the truth. And I was just like, a rebel, bucking the system. Like, I'm not doing that. They gotta come get me. I kind of was like that, right? Um, so that's basically what it was. And you know, when you go through that kind of stuff, and I sat in there for about a week or two, and then I finally got that good lawyer, and then he got all that stuff like handled. So I didn't have to deal with that no more. Because I had like some janky lawyers. I didn't have uh the great man that I had, prior, after that. But before then. So yeah, I had to do, and they they might as well been appointed attorneys, but they wasn't. I was paying them, and people was recommending me, but I shouldn't even listen to them because they was sitting in there with me. That's another conversation. Sometimes you just don't listen to the people that's sitting in there with you. If they knew every damn thing, they wouldn't be in there. That's I'm not awkwardly laughing. No, it's really funny. It's really the truth. This is not an awkward laugh, but still. And she's smiling. She's just giddy. Girl, I was not giddy in there. I was heated. You heard me? I was like, I knew I should have paid. I should have. I said, you know what? I'm sick of this bullshit sitting up in here. I'm tell you, I lost time. I lost energy. I could have been doing something else with my damn time, sitting around them women. I was like, I gotta go. It's too much puss around here. I need some male capacitations. You know what I'm saying? That's not even a real word. But for you like heart palpitations, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, and listening to, so anyway, that's one of the things that people ask you, like, why are you there? Of course, I'm an asshole or a hole. So first I'm gonna be like, yeah, I committed. They was like, you ain't do that. I was like, yeah, I did blah blah blah. They was like, no, you did. I was like, nah, I ain't do it. It's like, what you do for real? And I told them. And I'm telling you, they was moving out of my room because a lot of them in there, my cell, I told you I was in there for about a week. And within that week, had three different roommates, they call them cellies. I had three different cellies. I was in there for about, I would say, a week and a couple of days. You understand what I'm saying? It was like a week and a couple of days. And I'm telling you, they were like, man, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, why is everybody leaving from my room? And one girl pulled me aside and she was like, well, the reason why, they was like, cause you don't get down like that. I was like, okay, no problem. I understand. I don't take it personal. Now my last Telly shoot, I was kind of afraid to close my eyes with her because she was one of them. She like had stabbed her boyfriend, and she was a big bitch, and she was smelly. And I was just like, and when they locked the cell, they was like the room and whatever selling such and such and such. Tell it they was like home girl. They called me home girl. They said tell home girl because they knew I was a Panther. It's like home girl, tell your tell your Sally to wash her ass. She's like, which one of y'all bitches talking about me? I'm not doing like Jasmine doing. I'm telling you, it was funny though. That was really funny though. Y'all had to go, and I was like, look, I was like, yeah, you got to go to the bath. I wasn't trying. I'm an asshole, but I was trying not to be an asshole. I was like, shoot, they done close this door, and I ain't got nothing to hit this girl with, cause I'm like, I'm not gonna mess up my little hands. I was like, look, yeah, just go to the bath. I said it's all good. I represent for you tomorrow. Just go to the bathroom. That water was hard. That's not, it's just not good to be in the prison. I don't know why people, like, I don't know why that's a badge of honor for some people in the black community. I have no idea. And that was just like a jail. That was just like county jail. That wasn't even like the pokey. That wasn't even like the workhouse or the prisons. Hell, I had enough. You hear me? I ain't been back since. I was like, oh, the hell with that. I was like, I'm gonna pay that fine. I was like, oh, I got a ticket. Lawyer. On lock. That's when I got that lawyer. I got him on lock. I had him on lock. And like I said, I was just sending her money here and there because I knew I would need him as a Panther. But I'm telling you that I don't know why she's so giddy about this and why she's talking all this stuff, when she basically wasted time, money, and energy, just like I did, right? Just like I did. This is a learning lesson for some of us. But I don't think Jasmine get it. I still don't think Jasmine get it. Like some people learn, like I told y'all, some situations, some lessons I learned right the fuck away, right? It take me one time for some things, and other things I might have to hit my head twice, and after that second time, I'm like, oh hell no. See, I already knew I could be no crackhead. I knew I could try hard drugs. I was like, oh no, you doing a needle? Oh no, I gotta go. You doing crack? You smoking with a pipe? Oh no, you snorting stuff? Oh no, I'm out of here. You understand what I'm saying? I knew that it wasn't gonna be no me trying something now to experimenting with stuff like that. You know what I mean? Now weed is, crack, wacky tobacco is different than the hard stuff. Now, like you take that over there with you, like people just would sit around. I'm like, all right, then I'm getting ready to go. I mean, you know how you go to somebody's house with somebody. I'm like, hey girl, I'll wait out in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm good for that. I'd be like, all right, then I'll wait out in the car, or I'll call somebody real quick. I'll go wait out in the car and call somebody. If I'm driving with somebody else, I'll wait out in the car and be like, hey, come pick me up. I'm telling you, I done called my parents a number of times. I'm one of them kind of people. I'm like, yo, come get me. Or I was with a homegirl, hey, come get me. Like, I'm not getting ready to be put in no situation. I'm not trying to be a part of nobody's drive-by pals. I'm not trying to be a part of nobody's criminal escapades. I know how to burn out. And I've been in situations, like I said, where I had to, man, if you like really knew my life, man, this stuff like these punk games that Jasmine like to play and Olivia like to play, like ain't nobody got time for that. Like it's times where I'm telling you, I've been in a situation where I saw my life flash right before me. I'm like, yo, I gotta get out of this. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I mean, even in different cities, I done had, the power, you know what I'm saying? Them boys in blues drew down on me. I done had them put whole stuff to my head, like in the middle of my dome. You hear me? So it's stuff like that I saw my life flash before me. And it's the way that you have to know how to handle people. You really have to know how to do your customer service to live another day. You can fight later. You can go and handle some things. You might have to bang stuff out, and other things you might just need to live for another day. You understand what I'm saying? And you can handle that later behind closed doors. And sometimes people put themselves, that's why I said it's important to know your rights. So please teach your children their rights. Please teach your children what their rights are and learn them. Go to the ACLU and get that booklet. If I think I have it, I think I have it in my email. If I have it in my email, I will send it to you for free. Okay. I gotta find it because I used to teach a class after a while. But the point is that Jasmine puts herself in a lot of situations and stuff like that. And her telling people that she's on YouTube, people don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine probably told them her address. She's that stupid. Jasmine's type of person. She'll get up in there and run her mouth, and everybody don't have the best intentions for her. You know, everybody don't have the best intentions for her. It's sad that she has no shame. Right, I got locked up for and sent it to a women's prison for a week and came home and never went back. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not nothing to play with. That's not. Listen, it's not about being a punk. It's about time and money that you waste in getting yourself in these situations, like stealing. Like, bump that. I'm not stealing nothing. I'm not stealing nothing. If somebody sell me something like, hey, I got this for sale, would you like to buy? Listen, and then to powers that big, I'm like, look, I bought this from such and such. Now, back in the day, I probably wouldn't say that, but now I'll be like, hey, I'm 52 years old. I ain't got time for that. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I got locked up. Okay, I already read that. I should have highlighted that so I know not to read it again. Okay. Funny, she got all these stories as if she did big time in prison, a real prison. LOL. Exactly. LOL. She's weird. It's definitely a learning lesson for me. Exactly. I'm trying to tell you, like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting around and waiting on, and then you don't have freedom, like, mentally. It was not good on the freedom. I'm telling you, when I was in there, all I did was read books. They had like this lady that came there, and she would just like have like a whole bunch of free books. And I'm gonna tell you a couple of books I read about 6 books while I was in there. I read this one book about it was a I read gangster books because that's all they had that was of substance. I couldn't, some of that other, in the how-to book. I read how I'll tell you about that later. But the one book that I read, it was about it was the driver for Al Capone. And it was one of those books. It was like he went from a gangster to a Christian, right? And so that was a pretty good book. That was a pretty good book. I would say that was there wasn't. I didn't expect that to be a good book. I can't remember the name of it because I tried to find it when I got out. I was trying to find it because I really wanted to keep it in my library, but that was a pretty good book. Okay. I do read a lot. I know it don't sound. I talk crazy and stuff, but I do read a lot. Gotta have my recipes. Exactly. And it just don't let you be creative. Like, I write poetry, and I couldn't write poetry. I haven't wrote poetry in a long time anyway, but back then I was writing poetry heavily, and I couldn't really write poetry because my mind was so like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shoot, I'm ready to climb through this climb, you know what I mean? So you just, it's not freedom. Like, who the fuck want to be in jail? Imprisoned. And that hookup, she would have stayed a longer time. She wouldn't have the same energy. You know what I mean? I was in there for like a week and some days. And I'm telling you, it was not appeasing to me. No, I didn't have that lawyer at the time. I had another lawyer that got me out. I had some old bullshit ass lawyer that got me out the last time, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, she'll pay the money or whatever time." It was either me pay the money or go do. I had to do some time. I had to do some volunteer time at the YMCA. Um, but and I had a choice between the YMCA and a church, and I was like, "Up, YMCA it is." I know some of y'all Christians gonna be mad at me. I was like, the YMCA. I was like, I'm not going to the church because the one church they had me go to, I was like, oh, absolutely not, absolutely not, nope, because it was a cult. It felt like a cult. because I knew what church they was talking about. I said, oh no.
Shit. Bonding, trauma bonding, looking ass. Got a man in there.
Yeah, you definitely trauma bond with people, Jasmine. You got that bad. You got that. Oh my God, this is so bad.
Weird though, like they just stare at you. That shit was weird. They don't let you out at the same time as the men though.
No, but you do pass men from the they're on one side normally in most prisons, and I don't know this per se through my time, the little bit of time I did, but just by being a part, developing a prisoner thing that I used to have this like little prisoner thing that I used to do. Um, right, the prisoners and things like that, and I would have like political prisoners, not just regular motherfuckers, but political prisoners like the Panthers from the 60s. You know what I'm saying? That's who I used to write, just to be casual. And people that were wrongly convicted. Those are the people, or the people that were getting out that served time that may need will help them find places, apartments, and jobs and stuff like that. And then our membership was a lot of them was criminals. But nevertheless, they will have it separate where the men will be all the way in this sector and then the woman will be in another sector. And when you first like in the holding aspect of it, I forgot what they called it, but it's like the holding area, you will be in there with the men. Okay, to be honest. Well, for in St. Louis, I'll say in St. Louis, okay. And so what they would do is they will have it where, and then if you're going to court, you'll be in there with the men. You'll kind of be in there with the men somewhat, but they'll just be on the other side of the room or whatever. Uh, and then if you go, you might pass by, going to court or whatever. You're not like not on the daily, and they'll be like, whoo, 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 and just be like, no. I say I gotta get the fuck out of here. This ain't cool. Okay, and so let's go.
Double tap the screen. Yes, we're almost to the goal of 100. Go put that in the trash.
Are
And we
you
keep
vaping, Jasmine, or are you getting high? I mean, I just thought about that. We keep saying that she's vaping, y'all, but this girl might be getting high. You know that? She might be getting high. While we're talking about her vaping, this child might be getting high. I'm trying to tell you, I can't do this too. Oh hell to no, I can't, because number one, I don't want, I can't, I don't have my I can't find. I gotta use. I gotta if I'm gonna do the tea, I gotta use. I gotta use my tea. I don't have my thing where I'm just drinking it. I'm drinking it like the tea, like I do my peppermint tea without any damn, without putting it in. Just drinking the liquid part of it. I'm drinking the herb part of it. Oh hell to no! I just gotta remember to bring that sea moss here. That's what the hell I gotta do. Oh no, the powder. I can't do the tea.
ripping stuff up. We've been dealing with that ripping stuff up.
And I just think that honestly, and I know some of y'all, I ain't gonna make excuses for Jasmine. I don't care for Olivia. I knew, it's just some farce. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a lot of people that just really shouldn't be on YouTube. Just being honest, from my perspective, that's just my opinion. It's just a lot of people that shouldn't be on YouTube, if they're going to not understand how to conduct themselves. And that's just it. It's one thing for us to have a conversation. We could do conversations. We could do like, hey, this is my opinion. This is what I think, allegedly, right? We could do opinions and we could express ourselves and we could, but when you get to the point where you don't have a life outside of these are people that don't need to be on here, right? Or if it becomes dangerous. When it becomes dangerous and you are not paying attention to your life, your children, you're not focused on doing whatever, it becomes obsessive, and you are doing too much, and you losing things in your life. If you done lost custody of your children due to YouTube or social media of any format, then you probably need to make some changes. I'm just gonna tell you, if you done lost now, if you done lost jobs because or and YouTube is paying you more than your job was, that's an upgrade, right? But if you losing things that you really wanted, okay, so obviously you want your children, obviously you want a particular relationship, and if you lost your relationship, or it helped you to lose a lot of relationships, or it lost your closeness with your family, then you got to make some choices.
I was in Williamson County. I was in the worst county to get locked up in. The worst county, and I didn't know how bad. Like, I know the county I'm in is bad in general. Like, I live in Williamson County, and it's crazy because the police has been to my house, and that's another thing. Like, this was filed, and I've been here. The police has been to my house. I didn't get locked up. I didn't see the police so many times prior, and I'm in Williamson County. I live in Williamson County. I didn't move out the county, so it was just weird. But when I told whenever, because Philip, he been locked up every fucking county that can be, but he was like, "You're not going to see a judge till tomorrow." He said, "Now if you was in Travis County, which is Austin area, it's different because they have a 24-hour court. In Williamson County, they don't give a fuck. They want you to sit in there. Everybody is disrespectful as fuck. They don't. I thought they all look at you the same way. They don't care what you in there. Only one person."
That's damn Jasmine. Of course they don't give a fuck. I mean, it ain't they damn like, what the fuck you mean? Jasmine be really acting as if she just this something she said is just dumb as fuck. Like, of course they don't care. You ain't nothing but a number to them. You just a pay because you're a paycheck. That's how they get their funds. That's how, because they are allocated a certain amount of money when there's prisons, when there's prisoners, or when there's bodies in the prisons, they're allocated a certain amount of funds. And then let alone if you have to work, if you're working and you're
Person I said
getting
that one man figured
paid,
out why I was in there because nobody.
if you're working and you're getting paid within the system, and they're paying you like a cent, $2, it's like it's not even minimum wage. It's like something crazy, like 5 cents a day, or 5 cents an hour, or some old crazy shit like that. Then you're a body, you know what I'm saying? And so they are they will even have certain prisoners doing dealing with your credit card. Some of the people that's calling y'all about credit cards and stuff, they're dealing with your credit cards. They're not just making license plates anymore or doing welding shit. They actually doing call services. That's a whole nother conversation. Y'all want to talk to me for real. Y'all listen, let's go, Jasmine. But the point is, of course they don't care about you. It's not their lives. You're not their children. Why should they care about you? Nobody's gonna care about you. But you're supposed to be entitled to certain rights. And there are certain prisoners, certain prisons that or certain jails that don't give a damn about your rights, right? And it's been certain where they had that's another reason why they have these things that certain people will go in and investigate the prisons, because there has been some unsolved unalivings due to the prison, and the prisons have gotten sued on certain occasions. I had I'm not gonna go. I can't go there about that. But nevertheless, there are people who have sued the prisons because not because of just because of other inmates that have fought each other and unalived each other, but it's also been staff that has done it. So they have been through a lot of unhumane stuff. Like it was this one, like Attica was one of the biggest famous ones that they were not feeding the prisoners, and so the prisoners wind up taking over the prison, and then they end up, unfortunately, a lot of people passed away from there, as well as the staff, as well as the prisoners, right? And so they had to reevaluate the prison industrial complex system, right? But there are some, unfortunately, there still are bad prisons there. There's still bad prisoners in the USA that are very inhumane, right? So a lot of rights being violated, and just a lot of stuff where the prisons are basically running the prison, and shot call. It's just a lot of stuff. But so of course they don't care, Jasmine. I mean, what are you talking about? God, I don't necessarily understand her. But let's go. That's all I did was shower and read books. Exactly. LOL. I had to do community service, girl, at Goodwill. Girl, oh, that's the worst too. That's the worst. I've heard horrible stories. And then you have to call these people's chaplains and sir and ma'am. It's just weird. It's just weird, that whole Goodwill setup. Like I remember when I first moved here, when I first moved to Louisville, I put in for a lot of different jobs because I was trying to get something real quick. And I had an interview, and I did get I had got one job at one of the healthcare, what my degree is in, what one of my degrees is in, right? Healthcare administration, right? So I wind up getting one of those jobs, but I didn't start. I got here like that July, but I wasn't gonna start that job until October, right? That was guaranteed. I did my contract and everything, but that didn't start until September, October, something like that. It was something along those lines. And so I just took a couple of temporary service jobs, and then those one of those jobs I filled in for was Goodwill. And they were like, you gotta say, I did the interview, and they were like, we're set up, we're structured a little different here. You have to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or something. It was something weird. I can't recall, but it was very cultish. And I was like, oh no, I'm not calling you no sir, no ma'am. Now I would do that as being polite, but I'm not gonna be forcing to do that. Well, if you don't do that, then you'll be dock pay, or this to happen, that happened. And it's like, we have chaplains, we have nuns, and this and this and that. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna deal with all that. I was out, okay. Right, listening to Amy Winehouse 50 times a day. Oh my God, girl. Oh, girl, that girl, because oh Lord, you agree? Okay. Yes, there's a private prisons that are scary, right, and worse. Exactly. Amy Winehouse played 50 times a day that damn rehab song. Yes, right, because there are a lot of people that like work a lot of, well, I don't want to. Okay, so a lot of people that work at Goodwill, not everybody, but a lot of people who work at Goodwill are coming out of prisons, or rehabs. And what they do is they kind of have them under a certain thing, and it's just strange at how they like move. And I wasn't dealing with that. I was like, oh no, I was like, I'm not doing this job. And they offered me the job, and I think at that time, this was in 2020, 2010, and they offered me the job, and I forgot what the position was going to be. And I think they were going to pay me like $18 an hour or some stuff. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. I just couldn't do it. And it wasn't even like, no, it wasn't even like a cashier or something like that, because they did have those positions. I wasn't gonna do that. But I forgot what job, I forgot what title it was. And they was just like, well, you basically, they were, I was gonna be in like a managerial position or something. It was something weird, y'all. And I just know that I was not, I couldn't do it. I didn't like the politics of it. I said, I'm not doing that. That sounded like some slavery. It just felt slaverish. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's definitely like a cult. I promise you. And I've been in enough cults. Like, and I wasn't gonna be a part of no other cult. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just I've been in cults before, okay, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Um they don't tell you it's a cult. You don't know you're in a cult until you leave it, and then you realize, yeah, that was a little cultish. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation. We have to talk about that one day.
Nobody really knew. They were like, the report didn't make sense to nobody. And he went out of his way and came back and told me. Check your DM content ideas. Okay, I'll check it. Yeah, he is bored.
I want to buy your.
And that's part of the reason why I don't want to join any more associations. I'm a part of associations now, but I don't have to leave my house, and I don't have to call the people. I just, join it, because I took a class or something like that. Or my business and my school. I have a Reiki school of I have a Reiki school, and other certifications, of course. But one thing about that is I'm going to say is that to be honest, um is that excuse me, that's a part of definitely a healing association. I'm a part of different healer associations, but I don't have to call them up if I want to take some new classes, or if I want to teach a new class, and if people want to, look me up and stuff like that. But on the terms of joining or having to meet up with these people, I don't want to do it. That's another reason why. And I know sorority isn't associates. I mean, isn't I talked about this before, but I don't want to be a part of any association like that where I have to meet people on a regular. And I know a sorority will probably benefit me at some point in time, but I'm just I'm a loner, right? And by me being a loner, it's just I done been through enough working and being in a part of organizations where I've totally burnt out on doing any organizational. If it feels organizational, which I know how to put together organizations, but if it feels like a organization, I don't necessarily want to do it, especially, but like maybe a nonprofit or something like that, but it not set up like a prison or a cult, or where people are going to try to take advantage of me, or I have to take, or I feel like I'm gonna take advantage of somebody. I don't want no part of that, right? I don't want to mistreat people. Have I mistreated in my past? Of course I have, but don't want to do that at 52 years old.
So they ship you to different states. Damn, really? I believe it.
Of course they do. I mean,
It's no
yeah,
disrespectful. They have to be. Yeah, I know, but it felt it made me see things differently. Like
of course they gonna ship you to different states. And another thing, what I didn't like with Jasmine, like, you know, when you are, even if, like I said, when you are trying to help people get out of jail, or you trying to help people to fight for their rights while they're in jail, they don't have, their time is different from your time, right? Their time is like, they call you no matter where you are. They feel like that you should stop what you're doing just to help them the fuck out, and that's something that I wouldn't fucking do. I just wouldn't fucking do that. I'm like, look, I'm busy. uh can you let me know, can you call such and such and have such and such to send me what's going on with your case or whatever. I'm telling you, stuff like that. But they expect for you to drop everything. And that's what I really, and they're like, well, I ain't got time. I only got 5 minutes on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not paying for no calls. So that's another thing. I'm not paying for no call. I'm not accepting no calls. Well, why don't you get that? No, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm not getting no phone service. I'm not getting where I have to pay calls or pay for collect calls. I'm not doing that shit. Hell no. So yeah, and they it definitely just will pick you up, because I remember and then when I got out, on the day that I got out, they took me, and I think I had warrants. I had a warrant in 2 counties, and they just took me to those. It was already paid for and everything. They took me from the county. I had to sit there for a couple hours and then just process, and they brought my stuff with me. And then I had to go to another county. In this one county, boy, them doors, it was steel doors. I was like, hell no, get me out of here. It was a steel door. It was like a dungeon. I was like, oh, hell to the no. Hell no. That was my last time in somebody's pokey. I said, the hell with this. I said, I'm not going back. And I'm telling you, and I had to go to court. My mother's made sure I showed up at court, and I had an okay lawyer then. He was cool, but he didn't really do much. My mother really took over the case, to be honest with you. My mother's y'all know my mother was a teacher. And she took over the case, and I'm telling you, they was like, well, if you don't have, I forgot how much it was, and it was like, she going to jail. I was like, y'all got the I was talking crazy. I looked at that judge in his face. I said, sir, your honor, y'all got to take me out right now, because I'm not going back to no jail. He looked, his eyes got big. My mom was like, oh no, baby, no, baby, I'm gonna go. No, baby, I'm going. Oh no, I'm gonna go to the Q machine. She call it the Q machine, the ATM, okay? And she's like, I'm gonna go to the Q machine and just take the money out. You're not going back to no jail now. And I was like, well, you know what I mean? And she just would have got that money. It was like, ma'am, you got to the end of court. I was like, y'all got to take me out. Them damn the bailiff and the police kind of started surrounding me a little bit. They got to surrounding me, man. I'm telling you, they had me like they was in a circle. You could just see, I could feel them in the back of me. I could feel their breath breathing down my throat. You hear me breathing down my neck. I could just feel it. And I meant that. I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that jail. I said, no, sir. And it was in that dungeon. I was like, I said, I'm not going. And I had been out. And I just, you know how you go back to court and basically I had to show them I had my driver's license. I had gotten my, yeah, I got scared straight, y'all. I got my driver's license. I got all of that stuff. I got all that stuff handled. You hear me? By the time I came back, I had a driver's license, I had insurance, my car was registered, I had all that good stuff. I had just bought me a new car. And I looked at them, I said, sir, I said, Your Honor, I'm not going back in that jail. Y'all got to take me out. And them guards was like, they was happy. You hear me? They was like looking at me like, yeah, we're going to another block. I, I couldn't do it, y'all. I just couldn't do it. I'm just being, I swear to God, this happened. This is real. And I just couldn't do it. And I'm telling you, they surrounded me. They surrounded me in like a unicorn circle. You know what I mean? They was like behind me. And then the judge was on in the front, of course, right? My attorney looked at me and he was like, he stepped away. That wasn't a good attorney. That was the weak one. And he stepped back. I'm telling you, he stepped back because they was getting ready to fuck me up. You hear me? They was getting ready to fuck me up. I felt it in my spirit. My mother came back just in time. God was like there. You hear me? God was like, okay. I'm telling you, that woman hurried up. I ain't never seen that woman drive and move that fast. Shoot, she came back there so fast, and my daddy came back up there. They hurried up. They was like, here. And then she brought extra money just in case they was gonna trip. She took extra money out. And I was out. Whew, I ain't had to deal with that. I ain't had to deal with that no more. You hear me? Not like that. I didn't get locked up no more after that. I'm trying to tell you. That was last. That was it. Okay? And it's a learning lesson. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting up in nobody's jail. I don't give a damn how old you are. Shit, even at 12, 13, whatever, nobody got time to be sitting up in no jail because that's not cool. Even being in a boys' home, like even in being in the I forgot what they call it, where you in foster care and they put you in the boy, that's damn near jail, to be honest. If they take a child, if they can't find a placement for a child, they put them in a home. That's damn near a jail. That's damn near a little jail. Shit, nobody wants to sit up in no child need to sit up in there. That's make them. That's like you getting them ready to experience like jail life, and that's not okay. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Like a person going in that really didn't do shit. It made me see like a
Oh
broader.
my God, Jasmine. Now wait a minute. Now you did do something, Jasmine. Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Now you actually did do something, Jasmine. Now regardless, I get what you're saying. I get the whole theory of of how Olivia is. We know this is a current bitch. She'll she'll try to trick. She tries to trigger people that she knows is a live wire. She'll try to bait you and put you in a situation where you could possibly get, where she can get you nailed down and then go down there and basically report you. This is Olivia. We already know that this type of person. Even before this happened to you, Jasmine, this is the type of person. You see what she did to Gerard. You see when he had a whole letter from his lawyer, possibly. I'm almost sure, because normally lawyers will give you a letter. They will send you an email saying, "Hey, this is your blah blah blah, this is your, you have a, this is what the court, this is what the judge said that was supposed to happen, this is your visitation from this time to this time, from this day to this time. That's basically what they do. That's what a lawyer do for you, and court will do that for you as well, but the lawyer for sure does that for you, right? And so he had that proof, and Olivia still tried to say that he, hit her or whatever. He DV'd her, and he kidnapped the children. You get what I'm saying? So if she did that to somebody that she loved, what makes you think she wouldn't have done that to you? So we're not gonna play catty. Now Gerard was obviously innocent in that aspect of it, right? Obviously, if he had hit that girl, they would have caught it on camera. Okay, obviously, if he would kidnapped his children, obviously he would be behind the pokey right now, right? So, but Jasmine, you did actually get on live and you did threaten her. So we're not gonna play these games now. Do I think Olivia was petty and she was full of it and she knew that she was being funny when she did that? Yes, of course I knew that. Did she somewhat trigger you? Did she do some things to make her she know you're a dingbat, and she knew that you would be trying to beef you too because you're trying to beef for dollars? Yeah, pretty much so. But you got caught. That's the bottom line now. So don't say you didn't do nothing now. We're not gonna take it too far there, okay? We're not gonna take it too far because right now you're doing too much, okay? I don't blame you. Coatesville is dangerous, right place to be, exactly. And I can't do it. Yeah, I cannot do it. Yes, you have to drop everything or be in violation. Exactly. LOL, scared straight. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't with all that stuff. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do prisons. And I guess if you ain't got nothing else to do, then that's all you do. That's what most people, when they go to jail, they either pick up books, they read, they do read a lot, they'll write a lot, they draw a lot, they'll do workout, weightlifting, they come out buff. Some of them get in there and they try to learn the trade or whatever and what have you, and come out and try to do that trade, if they want to change their life, right? But I'm just not into the prisoner lifestyle, ma'am or sir. So no, thank you.
View. Like I start thinking about other people that get like accused of crimes and they never did shit, or say somebody got accused of pupilling somebody and they really didn't do it and they had to go in there.
And this was recently. I can't believe you saying this recently, Jasmine. You can't say this now. Now maybe when this first happened to you, maybe you wasn't thinking straight. Now you really, and see again, uh, what the unfortunate thing about you, Jasmine, is, I'm not. Here's the thing, y'all. I'm not saying that she should come up here. Don't get it twisted. I don't think, and this is just dumb to me. Like you're not supposed to, a good lawyer, regardless of whether you did the crime. Okay, a good lawyer will tell you a couple of one or two things. If it's something that they can't prove, right? If they can't prove it, don't admit to it. A good lawyer will tell you this. If they cannot prove it, do not admit to anything. Do not say anything without a lawyer. If you do not have a deal in place, if you do not have a deal in place, okay? If let's say if you're gonna make a deal. So for example, let's say you did it, right? And you have a deal, you can have a profit agreement. I mean, you could have like an actual plea deal, because a profit agreement is something different than having a actual deal where the prosecuting attorney signs off on a situation where you admit to doing blah 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 XYZ, and they're like, okay, cool, you admitted to this, all right, you either gonna get time served, or you're gonna have to do some time, or you're gonna do some time in probation. Time on probation is still time in jail, whether people understand that or not. That concept is still jail time, but it would be better to do it outside, to do it here, to do it on the outside than on the inside. However, if you have a particular job and it's stopping you from doing the things that you need to do, then you basically better do something from home. How about that? Because they also give you that bracelet, you know what I'm saying, that pretty little bracelet around your ankles. You know what I'm talking about? That's also a concept that people could certainly experience. Okay. And so things like that is can be hard on some people if you are used to having your lifestyle a certain way, even if you are going to school, or they might kill you from really they might stop you from really trying to do certain things, right, with that anklet on, with that bracelet on your, and it may stop you from getting possibly good jobs when you have a record. Some jobs may hire you, especially if it's a, it depends on what your crime actually is, right? And they may hire you and pay you good. Again, it depends, right? So that's a whole nother conversation. But sometimes that's still like doing behind bars. But you just got to pick which one you want to do. Do you want to do behind bars, where you actually physically, where you can't have access to no punani if you're a female, or I mean sorry, if you're a male, if you're a female, you might not have access to that good old eggplant, you understand what I'm saying? Or just having your range of foods and of your free, certain types of freedoms, right? But again, you have to decide. So what I'm trying to tell you, Jasmine, is I'm not telling Jasmine to come up here and say, oh, I did it. A lot of y'all on here would like me to tell her to go ahead and admit to it. Clearly, we see it, right? But if you have a good lawyer, because trying to tell you how the law is, y'all. Now, you don't always say you did some, even if you did do it. Please don't get up here and be like, "Oh, judge, I'm gonna throw my mercy on this." They don't. Some judges don't give a fuck about you throwing your mercy on the court. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got like a deal where you work out, now if your fingerprints is on that shit and there's nowhere around it, then that may be something differently. Then you might obviously have to. In her case, she obviously did it, but she could. There's if she have a good lawyer, there's a way around it. But she has a court opponent attorney, so there's ways around it. For example, I thought I was beefing. She could have used sort of, hey, we were just kidding. I thought we were playing. And but see, the phone calls is not gonna be like y'all was playing. Y'all bitches was for real. You know what I'm saying? This shit was for real. So you can't necessarily say that, unfortunately, right? But she could always, and then you using your daughter as an excuse. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. That's also, it's just kind of, your case is kind of hard to prove. Only thing you can say is, hey judge, I didn't really mean it. I was upset and I said it out of anger. I wasn't going to do anything. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even leave my home. You get what I'm saying? So but I wouldn't get on here and say the shit. I wouldn't get on here and say the shit you saying now. I would just kind of not talk about it, right? I would think that, the position that you're in, I would not even mention anymore. I wouldn't really, to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If I was Jasmine, I would have so much hate for Olivia that I would never bring her name. Her name would never be allowed to be mentioned in my house. If she caught, you know what I mean? If anything, I would have nothing to do with her, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't even talk about her. It's not worth talking about her at this point, right? Because you've already made enough money off of her. So it's no reason for you to talk about her at all. It makes no sense. The only thing that you can, and it's not like Jasmine sat in there for a long period of time where she have to rebuild her life. She does not. She didn't have to do, well, as of now, she didn't have to do 100 years or 90 days or 20 days. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to go through none of that. She didn't have to rebuild her life or anything like that. Only thing she, you know what I mean? So we don't know what's gonna be the outcome per se. There are rumors here on the social media stating that she had stating that the judge threw it out. Sometimes they will throw out cases like this because they know, because they're like, look, you wasting my time. They're hard criminals that are doing a lot of shit that's being fucked up. And again, it depends on what type of judge you get. And it depends on what lawyer you have. And it depends on, can your lawyer represent you to the fullest? Can your lawyer get the shit thrown out? You get what I'm saying? Sometimes the prosecuting attorney might be like, shit, get the fuck out my, get the fuck out my space. You get off my file system, my case, because I gotta try a lot of shit. I ain't got time for this. You know what I mean? Again, it depends, but she's going too far right now. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know I'm being long-winded about this, but she's going too far now to say that she didn't really do nothing, because she actually did do something. Now it's there's questions, there's circumstance, there's certain things that are surrounding her and this Olivia thing, right? There's certain things that surrounds this, right? But it's just at this point in time, don't say you didn't do it. Just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? I and I know our girl up here, you just ate. She was basically saying, well, she need to admit it for what? I mean, that's between her and the judge and the prosecuting attorney. I mean, they obviously got the evidence, but that's something that she needs to do with them and her lawyer, right? That's not something for us here on YouTube. See, that's the problem. That's really the problem, right? The problem is that Jasmine brings too much of her stuff on here, and it's just not a good, this is not the space for that, right? I would even give, to be honest with you, let's take it a step further. I wouldn't even have, because when you despise somebody, like she should, Olivia, while she's leaving communication open, because like right after you said that about my daughter, what do we have to discuss? Why would you even leave her number in your phone? Why wouldn't you have blocked her? Do you understand that when I have an enemy or somebody, I'm blocking them from all social medias? I am blocking you from my phone number. I'm not even gonna know your number. If you call me, I wouldn't even know it, because you would not have my telephone number. You would not even have I would have you blocked on my business line. I just wouldn't deal with you. You couldn't come into my space. I'm calling the law. You know what I'm saying? If you step foot in my vicinity, I'm calling the law on site, because I know I'm not calling the law because I'm afraid of you. I'm calling the law because I'm afraid what I might do to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't got time to sit up in nobody's jail. So I'm gonna call the law. I'm gonna say, hey, I asked this person to leave. They won't leave. Can you please kindly remove them? They won't leave. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to put my hands on somebody. Because if I put my hands on somebody, they're gonna have reason to put me behind bars. So if I do the right thing as a law-abiding citizen at this stage in my life, if I say, hey, police, please come and remove this person from my space, because I asked them to leave. I asked them to get away from me, and they won't do it. So could you help them to remove? Could you ask them to leave? I'll be waiting. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna cut them camera. I already have my cameras on. My cameras are already on. Time you get in there. You know what I'm saying? So all that be proof. I'm gonna send it to a judge, and if you strike me, then I have reason to defend myself defensively in a way, because you put your hands on me first, and I'm going to defend myself based about that, not me being the aggressor. Okay, so that's the thing. So why even talk about? So when you have a true enemy, the one thing that people do when they have true enemies, they block and delete them. They don't open or leave space for people to come back in their life. Once I recognize you as an enemy, now it's people that sometimes you just don't fuck with, or you don't deal with on a regular. That's something different. Or you don't trust this person. You like, okay, well, I don't trust this person. I'm gonna put them in this box. I feel like this person just ain't good. This is not a good person. So I don't really want to have much to do with Tracy May. So Tracy May, I'm gonna put Tracy May over here. We cool, but I don't fuck with her. We cool, but we ain't cool. And then it's the other person that you just like, oh hell no, I don't fuck with that bitch at all. And then it's this other person you just exchange niceties, but in your mind you like, you don't tell your business. You really just deal with her on a high and by level, right? So we put people in boxes, right? We put people we put people in certain boxes. We put them in certain areas of our life that we understand who the fuck they are. And you already knew who Olivia was, right? And so you have to kind of take some responsibility for that. Let's, before we get into what you did, right, Jasmine, you have to take a level of responsibility, not just regret, but you have to really look at yourself and ask yourself, like, why do you care for people that don't give a fuck about you? What is within you to still want to be around people who don't value you as a person, who does not respect you, who treats you like shit, who thinks you are a bitch ass, who just downs you and not has never ever really been there for you? But then what's within you, that people that really love you, that fuck with you, that rock with you, that you backstab them. You have to ask yourself, why can't you point out people who are for you or who are against you? And that's something that you have to dig deep within your soul to figure out, like, well, this bitch right here, I just basically can't trust her, and I should trust, you know what I'm saying? So you already knew when y'all went on a trip. I mean, I'm not even, to be honest with you, when you met Olivia, you shouldn't have trusted her. You could look at this bitch and tell she wasn't no good. But okay, so I ain't gonna even deal with that. Okay, let me just say, after that girls trip y'all took, after that big fun trip, I feel like Claire Huxtable, she's like, big fun, you went to go see Big Fun, Vanessa. But that's how I feel, because I'm old enough to be your mom. And I feel like after that big fun trip you hoes took, you mean to tell me that you trusted her after that? See, at the end of the day, after CPS got called on you from her, allegedly, after y'all had to take all those drug tests based up off y'all trip, because she said that y'all was doing cocaine. And see, one thing about a cancer, I'm gonna tell you something about a cancer. A cancer would take themselves down just to get at you. They don't give a fuck. Once they want to get at you, they will go through whatever means that they have to go through to get at you. And they will take themselves down. They'll make themselves look bad just to get at you too. Hello? And I'm telling you, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous bitch that you're dealing with. You can't deal with a bitch like that, Jasmine. They operate on a whole nother octane, okay? And so what you have to, and what you should have done was, when everybody stopped fucking with her, you should have stopped fucking with her. Tierra was your safe bet. Tierra, to be honest with you, Tierra is the only friend on YouTube that you have, to be honest, because Tierra's been down with you. Plus, Tierra Taurus. Tierra has always been down for you. She tried to tell you about Chris. She tried to warn you. She tried to tell you about how Chrissy was, and you said fuck her. You dumped her to go roll with Chrissy because you're an opportunist. And you thought, oh, I'm gonna go roll with Chrissy, I'm gonna get my numbers up, and you just poor Kiara, you just dumped her to the side. Then that other girl, I think it's no, her name is Tiara. My fault. Tiara been down with you from the very beginning, but you dissed her, okay? And then you go running back to her after them bitches all dumped you, okay? And then two, the second thing is, she was more loyal to you than she was her own damn husband. But see, I don't know what he did. He probably did something fucked up to her, which is probably why she wasn't loyal to him. Okay. So I'm not gonna judge her for that, because she a Taurus. And I know when we do something fucked up, when we dump somebody or we play on them, it's because they done did something real fucked up to us. So I ain't gonna even touch that with a foot pole. I ain't got no negativity to say about that. But the point is, Jasmine, you dissed that girl, and you left her to go with big funds, with all big fun in them. You want to go with them, okay, Chrissy and them, okay. That's what you wanted to do, and you was doing that because you're an opportunist, and you wanted to get your little numbers up, okay. this is all this was this about. It's nothing wrong with having and developing like-minded people and being cool with people, but don't dump people based upon that. You dump people based, or you stop talking to people based upon their energy. If they start doing some weird shit, or they start doing stuff that you're uncomfortable with being around, then that's something you, then that's cool. But that, I don't think she did anything to you. I think that you left her because you wanted them numbers with Chrissy now. And so you don't take people, you don't take people and look at people as a whole. You don't look at people, even if you understand, you can be cool, you can do deals with people, but you got to understand that who to trust and what to trust them with. Sometimes you have to look at things like this. I trust that I can't trust this person. Sometimes you have to look at yourself and say that. Sometimes you got to say, well, damn, this motherfucker right here, I don't trust them. I mean, I trust that I don't trust them. You get what I'm saying? And that's what sometimes you just have to do. I know I can't, I trust that I can't trust this person. That's what you have to do. And sometimes you have to say, well, I don't trust myself because I'm not a great judge of character at this point in time in my life. So therefore, I'm not going to have no new friends. What Drake tell you, no new friends. And so sometimes you have to keep a certain layer of a particular friends, like even your team. And you said you got great teammates as your friends, not the new bitches, but the old bitches that you roll with that already knew. Not that they probably won't talk about you, but at least if they talking about you, they talking about you in the circle. And the stuff that they say about you is kept in the circle, and it's not outside the circle. So you know certain shit you just can't tell them either, right, Jasmine? But you don't understand that you lack not only taking accountability,